That's weird. That's weird. Kind of weirding me out.
You are a sad, strange little man.
It's crazy. This is crazy. Isn't that weird?
That's weird, man.
It's strange.
Welcome back, campers, to episode 39 of Camp Strange. I am your camp counselor, Alex Tobin.
And I'm your other camp counselor, David Stokes.
And we're back to bring the spooky, wild, wacky, weird, strange, and magical...
Maybe a little horny.
Horny. It's always a little horny.
Is your story horny? Because mine is.
Well, I'll let you start then.
I'd rather send our listeners off with some horniness.
I'll tell you something. I never negotiate with a horny guy.
It's bad results every time.
Well,
how many news stories you got?
I got 2 news stories.
I got 2 as well.
Okay.
You want me to start off?
You're the one who just led with horny, man. You
All
can't
right.
just back out now.
Well, no, it's not my news story. Okay, my second one might be a little horny. I was just talking about my actual story.
Oh, okay.
Burger King Russia wants the movie It, the clown one, movie banned because Pennywise the Clown is, in quotes, exact copy of McDonald's rival clown.
What? Wait, McDonald's has a rival? Oh, wait,
they're trying to say that Ronald McDonald is an exact copy of Pennywise.
Oh my God! What the fuck?
With that second one coming out, man, you got to jump on it quick.
Well, the weird thing about that is, people don't like Pennywise. He is a bad clown. He is an evil clown.
Exactly.
And people are actually, the clown community is pissed at when Stephen King originally wrote the book.
Oh, I bet.
And when the movie came out, the clown community
Huge blow.
Was super fucking mad, and they're like, "You can't put this out. Like, you're ruining our careers." And he's like, "I didn't mean to."
Like, it's an alien. Calm down.
Yeah, exactly. It's like it's an interdimensional being, and then all the interdimensional.
We're
beings
clear for
are
spoilers, right?
And the movie's been out for like 100 years.
The book's been out for like 200 years.
Yeah. I mean, I don't know. It seems like good press for BK.
Well, except until someone's like, "Oh, that's a bad clown," because good clowns are the ones that give you the McNuggies.
Oh, I see what they're.
You can
getting
see
at
that
now.
route.
Okay, but maybe
McNuggie's good.
Maybe they should hit up the writers and have Pennywise carry around McNuggies, poisoned McNuggies.
How many fish fillets can a guy eat?
Maybe like in the movie, he gives somebody like 6 nuggets, and they're like, "Can I get a sweet and sour?" And then he just doesn't put it in the bag, and everyone's
my
like,
God.
"Fuck McDonald's."
That's the worst.
Sometimes
the sauce makes the meal.
I feel like it always does with McNuggets. I never eat a McNugget dry.
You can't. You physically can't.
No,
It won't slide down your gullet. You need to lather that bitch up.
Well, this is getting horny.
Real slippery.
Okay. Well,
slippery chicken?
I'm sorry, BK Russia, that you guys are struggling, but
hey, there's a Chinese restaurant somewhere in LA that it got delivered to my work once, and I was in a rush, and they're like, "Hey, get something from the menu." And I grabbed the menu, and the first thing I saw was a slippery chicken, and I thought it was the funniest shit in the world. So I was just give me the slippery chicken. Ended up being one of the best. I don't even like Chinese food that much. I've never really enjoyed it. Well, the best Chinese meal I've ever had was slippery chicken.
Wow,
it's delicious. It's kind of like
was that in Oregon?
No, that was here.
Okay. Well, next.
If you're in Chinatown and you're in we were around Chinatown, so it's somewhere over there. Yeah, if you ever see slippery chicken.
First date, it's a good first date spot. Really gets the point across.
Slippery chicken.
Mm-hmm. Speaking of Chinese restaurants, wow, that was a nice segue.
Mm-hmm.
This woman won $50,000 on a scratcher by going off the advice from a fortune cookie.
Mm-hmm.
So she said that she doesn't usually gamble. She goes, "I don't typically play, but the fortune cookie said, gamble, win big."
Oh.
So I thought, okay, and she got...
Put my mortgage on it.
She got 4 $5 scratchers, $5 Gold Rush tickets, and she scratched them off, and first one, nothing. Second one, nothing. Third one, nothing.
Mm-hmm.
Fourth one, she scratched it off, and she won $50,000, and
fuck.
she said, "My son screamed so loud."
That's the only available quote.
So, but you know what's actually funny?
What's funny?
Is that... Well, it's not that funny.
She spent $50,000 on it.
It's not her son. I'm joking.
Oh.
No, Actually, my girlfriend and myself, we bought scratchers on Sunday, one Sunday, and I was like, hey, we should make this like a thing where we just like
Yeah, tax for the idiots.
no, because fuck you. You know why? We don't buy just like the regular scratchers. We buy the crossword scratchers. So there's a chance to make money, and you're not actually doing a crossword. Actually, you're just kind of doing like a letter search. But it's kind of a fun activity to do while you're like drinking your coffee or just like hanging out. It's kind of a quiet activity, and she has literally won 9 out of 10 times.
Okay.
I have won 0 out of
No
10
shocker.
times. Literally every single time she wins.
Yeah.
And she goes, choose one. She holds up to me and she goes, choose one. And I always choose the fucking wrong one.
Yep.
So,
Yeah, I had a friend in 2nd grade who every time his mom would give us a ride home, it was like their thing every day that she would buy scratch-it tickets and give it to him when they got in the car and he would do them.
okay, there's a problem there.
I mean, she would turn it in, not him.
No, I know, but that's like a mom being like, we're going to win big today. Like, they needed the money, right?
No. they had
What
money.
a weird thing for like the every single day your mom does.
Yeah, I always thought that was a little strange.
That's a birthday or like an Easter. Like, I love it when your uncle like gives you a card and has like 20 $1 scratchers. I mean, you don't
Yeah.
make money on the $1 scratchers, but like still, come on.
The best day for me was when my mom had the dollar menu Taco Bell sitting in the car for me when I got in the car, not dollar scratches.
Was that every day as well?
Yeah. I like the bean and
Got
cheese.
the sauces on the side.
Oh, the hot sauce from Taco Bell. I used to drink that out of the packets.
We know you love that. Okay, next story.
For me, my horny one.
No, the fucking next.
Well, this
news
one's a little
story.
horny.
Okay, I thought you were going with the first one was going to be horny. With the
No.
clown.
I'm gonna wait until you stop sipping that wine.
Oh, because I'm going to spit it everywhere.
Yeah, again.
Oh no.
Will Smith calls Aladdin remake highlight of his career.
Okay. Okay, we haven't seen it yet. We haven't seen it yet.
It looks like shit.
That's like Vin Diesel being like Groot is highlight of his career. I mean, it
Holy
might be
shit, I mean,
it might be a good movie, but like you're
2
also
million
like
gross.
you're also like a CGI blue chunky guy
Yeah.
because he's pretty chunky. They made
Not
the
really.
Genie.
He's like kind of yoked. He's just a big dude.
The Genie or Will Smith?
Both?
No, Genie's chunk.
I don't think so, dude. I feel like he had a 6-pack going into that sleek tail body.
Dude, he's looking like the mountain. He's
Well,
big,
yeah, the mountain wins like the strongest man, even though
but
he
he's
did.
chunk.
And he did, you know.
Okay, no spoilers.
No. I mean, you know that actor got busted for,
Roids?
yeah, for
Oh,
peds.
fuck. I didn't know
Which
that.
is hilarious because he's like a spokesman for like one of the, you know how like now energy drinks are doing like the creatine energy drinks that are like you're supposed to drink before you work out instead of buying like creatine powder.
Yeah.
It's like he was like the face of like a company like that. Like the week that came out, I started seeing those ads on like Hulu, and I was just like, ooh, that's bad timing.
That's going to hurt your sponsorship.
Yeah.
I have his vodka. I got it from Iceland. Iceland.
He makes vodka too, huh?
Mm-hmm. It's called
Better get tested.
It's called the Mountain Vodka. I've never felt so fucking strong.
You've been looking a lot more toned.
Yeah, I've been drinking it every morning, doing a scratcher, drinking a lot of alcohol, and
You boil it for your tea.
But like, obviously, I don't think Will Smith is gonna be. I mean, I think that movie's gonna do good. I saw the second trailer, and the second trailer looked pretty fun.
No.
I don't know.
I don't know. I'm so out on these whole Disney fucking remakes.
Oh, I don't like live action. Yeah.
You know they're making a live action Rugrats movie.
Fuck that shit.
Can we talk about that?
I don't need that.
How are they gonna do that? Is it gonna be like CGI babies?
It's gonna be like Tim
Are we gonna have
Burton.
Zac Efron with a buzzed head and a diaper?
Yeah, that's kind of weird.
Tommy
I don't-
Pickles?
I don't get this. It's gonna be like Baby Geniuses, where like their mouths move, but they're like real babies, and
I remember they did that
they're
in
going to Liechtenstein and shit.
the amusement park in Vegas, because I remember I was at that amusement park in Vegas when that movie came out, and I saw in the trailers. I was like, holy shit, I'm there right now. Baby geniuses
you-
all around me.
Did you feel special?
I felt brain damaged. A lot of whiplash on that one.
Okay, let's move on to the next story. So this is my last one. Pennsylvania man who allegedly flushed his grandparents' ashes down the toilet will stand trial.
Yeah.
So apparently the 33-year-old
Oh, wait,
man,
that's illegal?
yeah.
Ooh.
So a 33-year-old man, Thomas Wells, from Pittsburgh, he got kicked out of his mom's house,
Yeah.
and to get back at her, he
Whoa.
he flushes grandparents' ashes down the toilet, and now he faces 2 counts of abuse of a corpse and a criminal mischief charge.
Damn, I didn't know that would cross over to corpse.
Yeah, because it's ashes.
It remains, but it's not a corpse.
I kind of agree. It's the idea behind just like
the morals.
Yeah, I guess that's kind of like fucked up because that's like literally somebody's like it just means a lot to somebody, and he's just like fucking flushing it down the
You
toilet.
just flushed grandma's tits down the toilet.
But okay, wow, you are making these stories horny. But his mom said all he wanted to do was smoke marijuana and drink alcohol, and she actually
Moved to California, dude.
she found out later from a relative. So she thought the box was okay. The box was in her bedroom, and she found out later from a relative that the ashes that he flushed him down the toilet. And so she called him up, and he's like, "Did you flush grandma's ashes down the toilet?" And he's like, "No, I didn't do that." And he said that on the phone. He's like, "No." And then she texted him, and she's like, so like the next day she's like, "Okay, did you really flush him down the toilet?" And then he like admitted it, and he's like, and he texted back, "Yup." He starts off with "yup." Yup. And as soon as you die, you'll be in the shitter, you bitch.
Oh, I mean, that's not funny, but goddamn, that's
good.
funny.
Well, it's good evidence. I mean,
Yeah.
he definitely did it.
FYI, if you're gonna text anything that could be
Deny.
incriminating, don't do that.
Deny.
Yeah.
So, you know what's weird? They actually, it's not that interesting. It says, no, I won't get into it. But
Okay.
It's
It's not interesting now.
I just thought the word shitter in here because they blanked it out, and it says S blank 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 ER, and I thought it was sewer, and I was like, why did they fucking blank out the word sewer?
I see.
You'll end up in the sewer, you bitch. And I've realized it was shitter.
Yeah, that's even better.
Yeah, it's fun.
That's good.
Good old time.
Good family fun.
I wonder if his grandma was nice. She was just a casualty of war, you know?
Yeah.
I'll do anything to get marijuana and alcohol.
I feel like that's strange to do something like that, but then like not own up to it. Like if you're gonna do that, it's to piss someone off. It's not to be like my little secret.
Yeah, I mean, like, where do you think the fucking ashes went? Like, do you think the cleaning lady just was like, oh,
He filled it back up with Nestle Quick.
oh, I cleaned up your box of dirt you had on your mantle.
The one in the large metal vase
The one
with a lid and the name on it.
You know that box of dirt with the chunks of bone in it? You know what's weird? Okay, this is a little too personal, but like my friend's grandpa, they had him cremated, and he was in like a black box, but he was also like the ashes were in a bag. Like a
that's how they do
vacuum-sealed
it.
bag.
That's how they give it to you.
Yeah.
Everybody in my family gets like cremated.
And oh, really?
Yeah.
Oh, but like it's really interesting because I was like holding the ashes like in the bag, and I was like, dude, I'm like holding your grandpa. But there's chunks of bone. There's like little chunks of bone in there.
Yeah, it didn't all burn up.
Oh my god! I think the fillings burn up, but the bone, not all the bone. Like the metal melts down.
Oh, I thought you were talking about like the marrow,
No.
the filling of the bone.
Oh, the cream of the Twinkie.
Yeah. Fuck.
No, like the fillings of your teeth, they burn down. But yeah, there's little chunks of bone, and it was just like pretty surreal to have like a human person
In your hand, yeah.
in a tiny box that you're like, I don't know, it's crazy to me.
Yeah.
But I don't know. Are you gonna get cremated?
Fuck yeah.
I was thinking about it.
Just throw me in the trash.
Just say that. I was about to say that. Fill me up with cream. I don't give a shit.
Good old Frank Reynolds.
Oh my god. So yeah. So go die. I don't know.
Let's go ahead to the stories.
Okay, let's get into these bitches. So for today, I'm going to be talking about probably one of the most misrepresented historical figures.
Okay.
I'm going to be talking about
William Dafoe?
his name is not William. Wow. His name's Willem, but no, I'm not.
Damn.
I'm talking about none other than King Tutankhamun. And I say he was misrepresented because a lot of people thought he was like the tip top of all the kings and whatnot, but he was actually like,
Just dirt?
well, he was like inbred, so he had like a club foot and he had like messed up teeth. He was like pretty ugly, and he was only like
Wait, is it King Tut?
King Tut.
Yeah.
Yeah, King Tut had
His
like,
the first name was Willem?
Fuck. You said William Dafoe in the
Yeah.
beginning, and I said his name's not William Dafoe. His name's Willem Dafoe.
Oh. I just heard you say his name is Willem.
No, Willem Dafoe's real.
Okay.
Yeah, his name's Willem. Oh my god, I can't believe you just took that from that. Okay, no.
Wait, William Dafoe's name's Willem Dafoe?
Yes.
Really?
Yes.
Is he called William ever?
No.
Whoa. Holy shit. What? Whoa. I need to fucking reevaluate everything.
Speaking of club foot and fucked up teeth, though.
I was born with a club foot.
Were you?
Yeah.
Okay, King Tut. So,
At least that's what my mom told me last time she was drunk, but I don't know if that counts.
So, she said she had you in a club.
That makes sense.
Anyway.
That makes sense.
So, yeah, so he was very ugly. He was not like he was a very young king, and he died very young too. I forget exactly how he died, but the reason that his...
King Tut?
Yeah.
Didn't he die from like septic or some shit?
Yeah, septic, something like that. I don't know, full of shit, right? Is that what shit infection?
I think he got cut and it got infected.
Oh, yeah.
I don't know.
Probably rubbed some shit in it.
Yeah.
And,
I mean, it was, back then everything was covered in shit.
It's
Not...
You know, the pyramids are just one.
I mean,
they needed a place to store their shit, so they just let's build some pyramids.
It's
This
lined.
is so degrading to like any of the Egyptian culture.
Hold on, do we have any Egyptian listeners?
But I really wanted to get more into his curse, the curse of King Tut.
Mm-hmm.
So, in November of 1922, British archaeologist and Egyptologist Howard Carter was exploring Egypt and found himself in the Valley of the Kings on the Nile's west bank near Luxor, not the hotel in Las Vegas.
I was going to say, we're close.
So, now the Valley of the Kings has become prominent during Egypt's New Kingdom, which was from 1539 to 1075 BC, because the valley became a royal burial ground for pharaohs such as Tutankhamun, Seti I, Ramses II, and as well as like queens and high priests and other elites during the time. So that's where they buried all of their like really high up kings and stuff.
Mm-hmm.
They would build these tombs in the side of like the caverns and stuff, or the side of the mountains. And because I always thought like everybody was buried within the pyramid.
Yeah.
And they're not.
No.
So Howard was with his friend and financial backer George Herbert at the time, continuing his 15-year search for the tomb of King Tutankhamun. Many believe that the 62 tombs found before 1922 were all the tombs that lay within the valley. But that day, Howard would change history forever by not only exposing one of the most elaborate tombs to date, but exposing something much more. Exposing an ancient curse. So, I mean, we'll get into it, but basically, a lot of these tombs, like they said, many were discovered before 1922 because people were just like ransacking them. People were just like, they're just full of like treasures and stuff like that. And back when Egypt was, like still like pharaohs and whatnot, they would actually like have guards and it's punishable by death if you even try to steal anything. So now many of us know about the contents of these tombs, as the Egyptians believed that they were to be filled with items to be used in preparation for the next world, in which humans were promised continuing life and pharaohs were expected to become one with the gods. The underground tombs were well stocked with all the material good rulers might need in the next world. Treasures like jewelry, gold chalices, and the golden mask found with King Tut. But there are also more mundane items such as furniture, food and drink, and even fresh pairs of underwear. I mean, I feel like that's the most important.
I thought you were saying fresh pears. Shout out to all them pears.
King Ross.
King Ross about them fresh pears.
So, imagine if there's like, fucking throw all the fresh pears you can in there.
Just fill it to the brim.
They're like, oh my god, we went in there just like jam all over the floor.
Really fermented in there.
But no, fresh pairs of underwear. So, what you need if you're going to eat that many fresh pears, right?
Yeah.
So, I mean, I feel like that's furniture, food, drink. Oh my, I'd just like chill in the tomb. I just find a way in there.
It's probably nice and cool in there.
Yeah, they have like couches.
Oh, except for those scary like scarab things from the Mummy.
Oh yeah. So I don't know if those are real bugs at the time, but what?
I mean, okay. Scarabs were they're beetles, but they didn't like crawl in your skin like in the fucking movie.
Well, that's what I call a scarab, is the one that crawls underneath your. I feel like the qualification for a scarab is if it can crawl in a shitty character's head,
So he can
and then
scream
he
and
runs
run
into
into
a
a
wall
wall.
head first. My favorite part of the whole movie.
That's so good. Yo, can
really
we
good.
reboot The Mummy? We're rebooting everything. Can we get Chris Pratt in The Mummy?
No, Brendan Fraser or nothing.
But
Anyway, so when Howard Carter found what looked like to be an entrance to a tomb, he poked a hole through the seal and peered inside. His team asked if he could see anything. Carter famously replied, "Yes,
that is
wonderful
Oh,
things."
sorry.
He said, "Yes, too many pears. So, is this a pear factory? What is this?"
Is this a pear tree in here?
He's like, "There's a fat wrapper in there." So, so you see, most tombs have been raided and robbed, like I said, before the end of the 20th dynasty. But King Tut's tomb was completely untouched, making it that much more rare and exciting. So that's why King Tut became such a prominent figure in today's society, is because when we found his tomb, it was one of the, if not the most like recent tomb we found, and everything was completely intact. So
Yeah, isn't it still sealed? His sarcophagus?
oh fuck no! I mean, with his body inside.
Pretty sure.
Well, I mean, I went to the King Tut exhibit that's like going around the United States, or it was going around the United States. I don't know if his body was inside, but I definitely saw his sarcophagus.
I'm almost positive it's still sealed and he's in there.
Do you mean sealed like since the beginning?
You can still see the rope and the knot they tied.
Okay,
I saw a picture of recently and it's like still a thing.
Well, that's incorrect
Okay.
because we'll get into why. That's
Maybe
incorrect.
maybe they took photos of it before they busted open and people just think it. Maybe they broke the bitch out from the back and just yanked that body out. Yeet.
Anybody got a fucking sledgehammer? We're gonna shatter the fucking bottom.
They just yeeted him out the back.
Yeah. Yeeted him. They took him out like a kid trying to unwrap his presents and not have his parents find out about it.
That like that Costco ceiling that's like impossible to open.
Like, take a picture of the bow. We're going to tie it just the same way. So the tomb was full of riches as well as the sarcophagus of the young king himself. But there was something else there with them they couldn't see, and it was about to make itself known.
Bunch of cats?
It wasn't scarabs either, and it wasn't cats, even though they did love cats.
What about scarab cats?
Oh, actually, a lot of the pharaohs got buried with their pets.
Yeah.
So there's a lot
The
of
little urns that have cat heads on them, don't they?
no,
Did they put them in
live
there?
pets. So like,
Okay.
they were like they shut the tomb with like gazelles, live baboons, cats, dogs, stuff like that.
I think baboon would be at the bottom of my list of things I want to be buried with.
Well,
Those big red asses.
you're dead. What are you talking about? What do you think's gonna happen in there?
I don't know. I don't trust them.
Okay, so probably sleeping on the couch before he died. I don't know. So when he first entered the front, what did I write right there? What the fuck was that? When the first entered front and center, what?
Are you using emojis again?
I can't read none good. Oh, I wrote that in hieroglyphics.
That makes sense.
Okay, well, when he first entered the antechamber, there was a clay tablet deciphered by one of Carter's colleagues that read, "Death will slay his wings, whoever disturbs the peace of the pharaoh." But the archaeologists did not seem bothered as they began to collect and break items. This is where I was about to say. Even King Tut's mummy itself was said to have been chopped into pieces and set out in the sun where it quickly deteriorated. So they just fucking yeeted him out, like you said.
Yeeted him in the sun.
They're like, "Hey, he's too big." He's like, "I'm kind of tired."
He's still kind of moist. Let's dry him out.
He's like, "Hey, I'm kind of tired. Can you chop him in half real quick? I can't carry the whole body." So they're just like,
He's dried out. He weighs 10 pounds. Yeah, I know, but
He's looking like
it's
a
It's
raisinette.
awkward. It's awkward, okay? It's awkward.
so
It's not heavy. It's just awkward to lift.
what is that, a 52-incher? What is that? How big is he? So, yeah, they chopped him up and they put him out because they didn't give a shit about the body. Like, especially back in like 1920s,
He's just a king.
like 1930s. Yeah, they're just like, I mean, he's not my king. So, but the first signs of the curse appeared when Carter sent a messenger on an errand to his house. On approaching his home, the messenger thought he could hear a quote-unquote faint, almost human cry. Upon reaching the entrance, he saw the birdcage occupied by a cobra, the symbol of the Egyptian monarchy. Carter's canary had died in its mouth, and this fueled local rumors of a curse. Many believed that Carter's house being broken into by the royal cobra was the same that the kings wore on their head to strike enemies was a sign that now the pharaoh had returned the favor of defiling one's home. So that was like the symbolism of you just broke into my house. I'm going to send a cobra to kill your pet or something like that. It was just like...
This cobra's going to do an upper decker on you.
He's going to go, you like that fucking canary? Not no more.
He tastes pretty good to me, huh?
so he just he yeeted a canary really quickly.
Right out the cage.
So as far as the curse goes and the deaths go, let's get into that. So the first of the mysterious deaths was that of George Herbert, Carter's financial backer and aristocrat. He wasn't his aristocrat. He just happened to be an aristocrat. He was actually a lord. So he was like just full of money. He probably liked tchotchkes. He's like, I like Egyptian stuff. Go find me some Egyptian stuff.
I wonder what the wait list is to become a lord or a sir. Trying to get that.
A lot of inbreeding.
What is that called? A suffix?
Yeah.
I always put, whenever there's an option, I always put doctor in front of my name. On like online applications. Fuck yeah.
Is that illegal?
I don't know.
I love it when teachers go, I didn't go to 7 years of medical school for you to call me mister.
Yeah.
I'm like, oh, you went to 7 years of medical school to be a fucking dick? Get out of here. What are you doing?
Yeah, a lot of people go to school for 7 years. They're called doctors.
Tommy boy, I love it. So the first of the mysterious deaths I told you was George Herbert, and he was an aristocrat. It is still somewhat unknown what killed him, though. Sir Arthur Conan Doyle, author of Sherlock Holmes...
A Doyle rules.
Author of Sherlock Holmes stated that the death had been caused by elementals created by Tutankhamun's priests to guard the royal tomb. He wasn't even there, and he's just like, yo, you guys got some elementals going on in there.
Yeah, what?
They're like, oh, they filled this tomb with farts, and you done opened it.
You all gassed up now.
Yeah, they're like, that baboon's probably farting up a storm in there.
You know baboons fart like it's no one's business.
Red fart.
Angry farts.
So
real cracklers.
So this, the I think that was just kind of using his imagination a little bit, but yeah, he's like, yeah, there's a lot of elementals in there. You breathed in some poisonous shit and it killed you. And a lot of people also thought that maybe it was like a poison mold or something that was growing within the tomb.
Black mold, yeah.
Something like that. But it is most likely that he had been bitten by a mosquito and later slashed the bite accidentally while shaving because it was on his cheek. Mm-hmm. A combination of streptococcal infection and pneumonia was the cause of his death. So I guess he had a history of getting a really bad pneumonia, just like most lords do, because they're all inbred and they don't have like a lot of good genetics going in there, you know.
Well, I think with pneumonia, it's like once you've gotten it a few times, you're much more like once you've had it, it's a lot easier to get it, I think.
Oh, probably. I mean,
and it's like the more you get, the easier it is to continually get.
He had an infection, so he was just like, I think, really susceptible to getting it. So he just like kicked the bucket just from a mosquito bite because he doesn't know how to shave good. Like,
mosquitoes are fucking assholes.
Yeah. So, especially in Egypt.
Yup.
You ever heard of the Nile?
Mm-hmm.
So,
I've heard the west of the Nile.
So it is also said that at the time of his death, simultaneously, his three-legged dog howled and dropped dead.
Was it necessary to add in that the fucker had 3 legs?
I think it was like a famous dog, you know,
champion.
Like, it was like a dog that he's like, isn't it funny? I bought a crippled dog. He's like, it's what rich people do.
I'm a philanthropist
to make themselves feel better. It's like, oh, yeah, exactly. Look they would have killed him if I didn't bring him in. It's kind of like almost like a underdog story, literally a 3-legged underdog story.
Yeah.
But also, so the 3-legged dog dropped dead, and all the lights.
Wonder which way he fell.
The side with no leg. So and all the lights in the city of Cairo suddenly went out as well. So they all went out. They probably had like 4 lights back then. It was like 1922.
Yo, I bet those angry ghosts got pissed when they're like, shit, we can't just blow candles out anymore. We got to find a fuse box and switch it.
Yeah, they're like, tungsten. We have to snap the tungsten.
They had to wait for like an electrician to die. They're like, yeah, we need your help, Earl.
Shoot him through a wall, So when Benito Mussolini of dictator fame, of Italy, when he heard about this, he had actually been gifted a mummy prior to all these shenanigans.
God, I want a mummy.
And when he heard about this, he immediately demanded its removal.
Yeah.
He's like, cut that bitch in half and throw it in the trash. Who
Throw it
gives
in the
somebody
sun.
a mummy as a gift?
I don't know. I need to find new friends.
I wouldn't mind a mummy. I mean, we have a haunted doll, Gary. Do you want a little mummy, buddy? He needs a mummy.
Mummy buddy?
Yeah, he needs a mummy.
We can find him a mummy.
We can find
I'm going to get on eBay and look up haunted mummy dolls.
I feel like if it's a mummy, it's already haunted.
How about for Halloween we dress him up as a mummy?
Oh, I like that idea. I have some
Little
toilet
teepee,
paper.
yeah.
Yeah. So in 1925, the anthropologist Henry Field visited the tomb and recalled the kindness and friendliness of Carter. So he was running a good ship over there. He's a nice guy. But he also reported how a paperweight given to Carter's friend, Sir Bruce Ingram, was composed of a mummified hand with its wrist adorned with a scarab bracelet marked with "Cursed be he who moves my body. To him shall come fire, water, and pestilence." Soon after receiving the gift, Ingram's house burned down, followed by a flood when it was rebuilt. Okay, that's a really cool.
You would hope that the fire came before the water, but yeah.
No, you can't. Yeah, you can't get everything you want. So, but it's also interesting. He gifted him a fucking mummified wrist with the thing on it, with the bracelet on it. I'm like, dude, the bracelet would have been okay. You didn't have to give me the hand with it.
Yeah.
But he gave him the hand too, and then they used it as a paperweight, which is like pretty fucking disrespectful, right?
Yeah.
So, yeah.
I did a bad thing.
What'd you do?
I Googled real mummy on eBay. Most of it's just some fat bling chains that are diamond encrusted. And I scrolled down a little bit and I found okay. We got 2 things here.
I don't want to know. I feel like there's porn involved.
No, not yet.
Okay, not yet.
So the first one that came up was a lot of 2 real lizard animal skeleton /bone /skull /4-inch long mummy, 1 complete, and it's just 2 dried out. It's just 2 dried out geckos.
Some guy is literally buying like $8 geckos from like Petco and then murdering them and then doubling the price.
You walk 5 feet in Hawaii in the summer and you can find 8 of these things on the ground.
I guess you're right, but I mean.
And the next one that came down is, boy, that image is rough. For $55, buy it now is, God, I can only imagine how bad the box would smell when it got there. White, in all capitals. White tail, deer, mummy, skull, antlers, real bone, taxidermy, mount, skeleton, stag, and it's just a straight deer head. There's still a little bit of fur, a lot of bone, looks like a little bit of skin. I think there's even an ear still attached. It's bad.
They just chopped off the head of a deer and now they're trying to sell it on eBay?
They couldn't eat it, probably.
Is it eBay?
It's eBay.
Fuck. That seems like you can't sell that on eBay.
Well, then here we have Goosebumps, 1995, original TV script, real autographs by cast, Return to the Mummy.
Let's move on.
$431.25.
Not worth it. So, like we get back into the story, so Davis stopped Googling.
I'm sorry,
shit.
there is more of the dried out geckos. There's so many dried out geckos on eBay.
This guy's like, fuck, dude, I invested all my money in a fucking dried out gecko.
I'm in the hole.
Oh my god, first right. Bitcoin, now this shit?
All right, I closed the web browser. I'm done.
I'm in lizard coin. So, Howard Carter was entirely skeptical of such curses. So all this shit's going on around him. Everyone's like, okay, a curse. And he's like, fuck the curse. That's not real. But he did report in his diary a strange account in May of 1926 when he saw jackals of the same type as Anubis. If you guys don't know who Anubis is,
Anubis is a bad motherfucker.
he's the lord of the underworld. He's a jackal-faced god. So
You would know exactly who it is if you like think of any of the lore of like ancient Egypt
he's
stuff.
usually the
like,
first one you think of.
He's a good image.
He's a dog-faced guy, and he's always like seen with like big sharp teeth, and he's scary. But
Yeah.
So he saw a pack of jackals, the same type as Anubis, the guardian of the dead, for the first time in over 35 years of working in the desert. So he had never seen those before, and now he sees literally the representation of death in Egyptian lore.
30 years in the desert. That sounds rough.
35.
Yeah.
So, but now let me get into all of the deaths that are associated with this curse, because there were quite a few.
Okay.
So, as we talked about George Herbert, I'm just going to read their name and then how they died. I cut out all the potatoes.
There's a lot
I
of
just
them.
wanted the meat of it, you know. So, George Herbert, mosquito bite, really pneumonia infection.
Who knows?
George J. Gould the First.
This motherfucker doesn't like George's. George of the Jungle on there?
Tree. So George J. Gould the First developed a fever following his visit. Prince Ali Kamel Fahmy Bey of Egypt, shot dead by his wife.
Yeah, that happens.
So that happens more than you think.
Yeah, nothing new there.
Colonel
Am I right?
Colonel the Han Aubrey Herbert, MP, whatever that means.
Medical practitioner?
Oh yeah, probably, because became nearly blind and died from blood poisoning related to a dental procedure intended to restore his eyesight.
A dental procedure to restore his eyesight?
Hey, you know what?
Well, the teeth in the eyes are very related. We're going to take your molars out. We're going to put them in your eye
Hey,
sockets.
you see the eyes are connected. You ever like sneeze when you got food in your mouth and then a like piece of food comes out your nose?
Yeah,
That's how
I don't
that works.
got to explain it. You're an MD. You got it, buddy.
You're an MP. He's like not even an MD.
MD, MP, we're just missing a
I
tail.
didn't go to 7 years of medical school to get called an MD. I'm a fucking MP.
I think D is better.
Okay. Whatever you say. So, Sir Archibald Douglas Reed, mysterious illness. They don't know how he died. Probably fucking bought too many lizards and his wife shot him.
They're on the baking sheet, honey. They're going to be gold.
Sir Lee Stack.
Hold on. Sorry.
What?
So that's the second wife that shot one of these guys.
No, I made that up. It was a mysterious illness.
Oh, okay.
But you could really make up whatever you want.
Okay.
You know. So Sir Lee Stack, Governor General of Sudan, assassinated while driving through Cairo.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm gonna guess like a bomb or a gun. Do they have bombs in 1926?
Yeah.
I'm joking.
I don't know.
mean, obviously they had bombs, but do you think they were like bowling balls with wicks coming out of them, and he just tossed it to him, and then he
Were
caught
those
it,
ever real?
and then he caught it, and he looked at the camera and goes, "Whoa."
And it blew up, and like
And
he
his
was still there for a second, and then he went to like dust.
Yeah, his hair was all like, yeah, exactly, pointy. So, yeah, shot in the head brutally and died.
Probably.
So that's cool too. A.C. Mace, that's a cool name.
That's a badass name.
He died of arsenic poisoning.
Was it Alan Charles?
Could be. Who knows?
The only AC I've ever met was Alan Charles.
Oh, okay. Well, did he die of arsenic poisoning?
I don't think so.
Oh, probably not him then. The Han Merv. Oh wait, that's Mervyn. I'm sorry. The Han Mervyn Herbert. You see, a lot of these people are like related or like assistants of people. I cut out
Yeah.
all the like related to him via blah 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 cousin.
Yeah.
But he died of malarial pneumonia. So he
That's
also
probably the same
got
thing the first
pneumonia.
guy died from.
Yeah, like I said, bad genetics. They're all inbred.
Yep.
So, Captain the Han, Richard Bethel, victim of a suspected smothering.
Mm-hmm.
So that's another. I don't know if that's a good way to go out or a bad way, but
It was peanut butter.
oh, they found so much goddamn peanut butter in his windpipe. I swear to God,
It's all he ever wanted.
die by peanut butter. Richard Luttrell Pilkington Bethel supposedly threw himself off his 7th floor apartment.
Okay.
Supposedly.
7 floors will do it.
Yep. I mean, whether you get pushed or you throw it off, or you throw yourself off, does it really matter at that point?
Nope.
And we all know our boy Howard Carter, the guy who opened the tomb and found it. He died of lymphoma over a decade later. Oof. And I say
the slow burn.
And I want to confront this head on, because a lot of people speculate if the curse is even real, as they state that most of the people who entered the tomb died much later in life and of seemingly more natural causes. Mm-hmm. But let me leave you with this last thing. And before I get into this last thing, a lot of people are like, the statistics don't make sense. Look at these people. A lot of them survived and stuff. But, like, a lot of people died in pretty weird ways, too. So, like, we don't know how curses work. Maybe some people were just lucky. Yeah. Maybe it was, like, Lord of Light versus Lord of, what's going on here.
Where does a mere mortal get that much peanut butter?
Yeah. You could only find that in the tomb.
They didn't have Costco back then. They couldn't get that bulk.
That guy's filled ass to throat with peanut butter
to the brim.
So, anyway,
real spit roast of peanut butter.
Let me leave you with this one last thing. There is still one more notable tomb yet to be discovered, belonging to Ramses VIII, and many believe it may be found within the valley. Now, when or even if it is discovered, would you willingly be the one to break in and disturb the body of a king who is now one with the gods? Maybe you would, but remember when you get home that night to check your bed, because someone or something might have been sent to return the favor.
Ooh.
I got a snake in my bed, and I got peanut butter in my throat.
Why is my pillow so heavy and it's so dense? Was that peanut butter?
Oh, my fucking pillow smells like venom. What the fuck? so
it's that peanut butter snake again.
the peanut butter snake. It bites you and fills your veins thick with peanut butter.
Extra chunky.
No. Oh my god, you can't get blood flow through fucking extra chunky peanut butter.
No way.
Damn, what a good invention the gods made up.
Yeah, that's good.
So
they're smart.
Just think about that next time you guys are in Egypt. Watch out for some curses, because they may or may not be real. But
yeah, just grave robbing.
I'll tell you something that is real. Fucking King Cobra is eating your canaries and peanut butter snakes. Those are both real.
Very real.
Top 2 deadliest snakes in the world.
Big time.
We talk a lot about snakes. Last podcast was about snakes too.
A little bit.
Yeah, Golden Pit. Yeah. Anyway, so yeah, that's King Tut. That was his club foot curse. And be careful next time you guys want to go kicking down people's doors, digging up graves, and
flush them down the toilet,
cutting bodies in half and throw them in the sun to make a little raisin boy.
Yeah,
shrinky dinks, as they say.
Throw them in the sun with the geckos. How did we not make that connection earlier?
I don't know.
Oh boy.
So,
all right.
Yeah.
You ready for me to start my story?
I'm ready for you to.
All right. So I decided to start my story with a little bit of something to bring you into it a little bit. You know what I'm talking about?
Is it horny? Oh, this is a horny story, right?
There's some horniness in it.
Okay.
So I'd like you guys to buckle down a little bit.
Are you fucking playing waves right now?
Yarg.
Are you kidding me?
Yarg there, listeners. Today I be here to tell you a story of war and gold on the seas. Is that too loud?
I heard somebody jump off a ship or something. Somebody splashed.
Today I be talking about none other than Edward Teach, also known as Edward Thatch.
Dude, did you this is a storm. Turn this shit down. Why is it getting so fucking loud? I get it. Okay, wait,
also known.
This is so distracting. Turn this shit off.
Also known as Blackbeard.
Oh.
Yeah, it's going to fade away any second now.
Okay. What was his real name? Edward T. Hatch?
It was Edward Teach, and also known as Edward Thatch. I think they weren't exactly entirely sure which one it was, because they're. So I'll
This
get
isn't
into
fading
it.
away. It's not fading away.
It's
Please
not.
turn this shit
I'm gonna
off.
pause for a moment. So Blackbeard was an English pirate who operated around the West Indies and the northern coast of Britain's North American colonies. Did they say northern coast? No, it's eastern coast. Sorry, of the North American.
There's too many
colonies.
directions right now. Is
Yeah.
he in the ocean?
Yeah, that was one of the harder things about writing the story was like just the fucking the sea language
You
and
gotta
like the
use the
directions.
stars.
It was
Just look north at the star.
But yeah, so most of his roots are mysterious and unknown before he became to fame as a pirate legend. It is believed that he could have been a sailor on the privateer ships during the Queen Anne's War before settling down in the Bahamian islands and of New Providence.
So the weird thing I was gonna say is that I don't think of pirates as being like English or like a Spanish. I always just think like they're their own like ethnicity or like or like just subculture where like you've always been a pirate. You've never been like a little English boy because it's such a vast difference between like an English nobility and like a pirate. I mean, if you watch like Pirates of the Caribbean, you're like, oh,
They're all British.
Johnny Depp used to be like a little British boy who was just like, yeah, it's weird to think about though because I don't picture him as British, even though they're both like the same culture. I don't know. It's kind of weird.
No, I got you on that. Okay, so he was in he was in the land of New Providence, and which was a base for Captain Benjamin Hornigold.
Oh, there's the horny
Yeah, real horny
for
And
gold.
big
Sounds
time
like,
horny.
Sounds like a pirate.
This dude is literally horny for gold, and so he joined his crew around 1716. And Blackbeard quickly gained Hornigolds. I know it's like Hornigolds, but I like saying Hornigolds.
Say it all.
He gained his trust soon, not after joining them, and placed Blackbeard in command of a sloop. You know what a sloop is?
No one knows what that is.
We've talked about before.
A sloop?
Yeah, I mentioned it in another story at one point. A sloop is a small single-mast ship.
Oh, what? When did we fucking talk about a sloop?
I don't remember, but I do remember at one point vaguely saying that.
Okay. You've been playing too much Sea of Thieves.
Yarg. And,
Yar, Peter.
so,
Steve the Pirate.
yeah, so he became command of the sloop after he had captured it in, good old little piracy.
Let me get this right. It's a single-man ship?
Single mast. So it has one...
It's a single-man ship. Like,
No.
pretty easy to take over. You literally have to fight
rowboat?
one guy. Yeah, exactly.
So the two sailed their respected ships together to engage in uncountable acts of piracy, killing and taking what they wanted. Blackbeard captured a French merchant vessel known as La Concorde and quickly decided to rename the ship to the Queen Anne's Revenge.
That's really cool, actually.
So I think that's why people thought that he was a part of the Queen Anne's original fleet.
Okay, yeah. Especially if you don't know somebody's lore, you're just like, oh, he's trying to get revenge because he was a part of it. And you're like, nah, he's just naming some cool shit.
Yeah, and so this ship was equipped with 40 cannons.
What the fuck? Are you serious?
Yeah.
I mean, I don't know the exact number of cannons each ship has, but 40 seems like a lot.
Well, I mean, you put 10 on each side, and then you also have the ones that are below the deck. Mm-hmm. So that's 40.
Okay. I mean,
it's still a lot.
I don't know. It just seems like it seems like a lot. I mean, one cannon impresses me.
Yeah.
So 40.
Whoa.
40, sign me up.
Whoa. And so then it was when he became captain of the Queen Anne's Revenge that he was officially named Blackbeard.
So, did he have the blackest beard, or did he have no other notable traits about his face?
Well, here in my next paragraph, we talk a little bit about the nickname.
Ooh.
So the nickname, to not much surprise, came from his thick black He had a thick black beard
This is a horny story.
and had a very fearsome appearance, standing 6'4".
Wow, he's tall.
He was a big dude back
You know,
then.
all pirates are 4 feet too.
Yeah, so they can get into the cannons and launch themselves.
Launch me, sir.
Always sleep in the cannons.
Get out of there, little legs.
What's the point of flipping the pillow to the cold side if the whole thing is cold steel? That's what Grandma always said. And so the legend has it that Blackbeard would tie cannon fuses under his hat and light them when engaging in combat, striking fear into the unfortunate who crossed his sword. Nor would they.
So he was just kind of doing like a little sparkler underneath his hat and be like,
Kind of, but it would emit smoke and shit, and it'd look like his head was on fire.
oh, okay, because I didn't know much about cannon fuses, but I thought they were more like sparklers. But like,
I mean, they burn slow, and it's, you know,
it would be pretty crazy. Kind of fuck up his vision too. But like,
I'm sure he didn't put it in front of his face.
Oh, he said it was on his hat.
It's underneath his hat, but I feel like it was probably like
On
out
the
to the
sides
sides
and
and in the back. Yeah,
That'd be pretty cool to see. It's like when the Scottish would like fight naked, you know?
yeah. Love to watch that.
No, seriously. That would scare the shit out of me. It'd be like, wow, these
Dude, don't
guys...
touch me! Don't touch me! What are you doing? Don't touch me! So when Blackbeard went into battle, he would be covered in weapons, with his large cutlass sword, multiple guns and daggers covering his body.
So he was strapped.
Well, I mean, okay, so back then they had their flintlock, you know, those little pistols. It's like one shot, 10 minutes to reload the fucking thing. So, like, when you were a high-ranking kind of person back then, you'd have, like,
He had 15 guns
basically,
on his waistband.
I mean, as many as he could carry. He's a big dude.
Honestly. 6'2", yeah.
Yeah. So, he claimed to be the devil himself, and with armed to the teeth and a smoking head, many people believed it.
I mean, the picture you're painting is pretty cool.
Yeah. The Blackbeard flag, which I had never seen before until I was researching this.
That's not skull and crossbones, right?
No, it's way cooler. It was so the flag itself was usually enough to make any boat immediately surrender on sight. The black flag showed a demon figure in white wielding a spear, striking it into a large red heart.
Whoa.
Honestly, it kind of looks like the Night King. And,
Really?
Because he's got like kind of little like horns. And in his, I'm going to guess it's his right hand, he's holding something that I couldn't tell what it was. Didn't find a definition. It might be like I don't know, like a glass or something. But then in his left arm, he has like the spear.
And just shoving it into a heart.
Into a heart, and then there's, I believe, 3 red dots kind of next to it that might be like bleeding.
Blood.
Yeah.
Blood dripping.
Yeah.
Damn, that's pretty cool. I've never seen that, actually.
The flag's super badass looking.
You know what's interesting? That he like went to a flag maker and he's like, "Yeah, I got a good idea for a flag."
I doubt that. I doubt that happened.
Then they got a guy on the crew that could sew,
Yeah.
which is very interesting for a pirate.
It can't be that hard.
But they're also English, so they're like proper, but they're just like, yeah.
So Blackbeard was a fearless and smart leader who used intimidation as his weapon when stealing from others. The true fact is not well known about Blackbeard and his crew, but they never actually really harmed too many people or killed people.
Really?
They did when they needed to, but if they came to your boat and you surrendered, they wouldn't kill you.
Oh, so they're just like honorable, basically.
Yeah,
They're like,
if you try to fight, they would fuck your ass up. I mean, they would just obliterate you. But if you just like put your weapons down, they wouldn't have harmed you.
Yeah, he's like, pick one of my guns you want me to shoot you with. I got 15 right here.
Yeah, so just surrender, give up the loot, and you'd walk away with your life.
Give me the loot. Give me the loot. Oh, okay. So that's like pretty interesting. I always thought like Blackbeard was one of those guys who was like not. They painted him as somebody who is not very honorable. Like he would just show up and murder. Because the thing about pirates, they always say like, oh, they rape, pillage, and murder, you know, and steal or whatever. You know what I mean? What are the 3 adjectives they always say? And you're like, and then we always romanticize them. And we're like, oh, pirates are so cool. I'm like, aren't they just like horrible people?
Yeah.
Like literally, their first adjective is rape, and you're like, oh my god, that's like so awful.
You got to think of that next time you go on the Pirates of the Caribbean ride at Disneyland. The part when the guys are chasing the women.
The fat lady.
Yeah,
he's like
it's not
chasing
good.
her. I'm like, but like I don't know. I guess we go like we kind of turn a blind eye and be like, it's just all good fun.
Yeah.
But Jesus Christ, these guys were not to be fucked with.
Yeah.
I guess. Yeah.
So it would not take long for his name to be known and hated by men of the likes of the governor of Virginia, Alexander Spotswood. Funny name.
It's actually Governor.
Oh, Governor Alexander Spotswood.
He's got spotty wood, and the other guy's got horny gold.
Yep.
Wow.
So Spotswood would arrange a party of soldiers and sailors that he basically said, I'm going to pay you if you guys kill him or capture him.
Sell swords. Okay. No, they're not really sell swords. More of like a bounty. He just put out a bounty, right?
He basically made an army and was like, you'll get paid when you get them.
Oh, okay. So they're sell swords.
Sure.
Mercenaries, whatever you want to call them.
So let's get into some of the myths and truths of Blackbeard before we continue his story.
This is interesting. I know nothing about Blackbeard besides like his name and that he was a pirate.
Yeah. So it was believed that Blackbeard had upwards of 14 wives.
Cool.
This is a tricky one because even though Blackbeard had a terrifying reputation, the ladies loved this dude.
I feel like that goes hand in hand.
True.
Like if you're a bad boy, like ladies,
I mean, it's a different form of bad boy. This is like murdering and stealing shit, not like I ride a dirt bike with a leather jacket.
Yeah, I mean, but like Blackbeard, I don't know. He just seemed like the type of guy, like his reputation precedes him. So it's like, I mean, if you're known at all, like now, people are like, who's that guy? Like, oh, he's famous. Like, no one was famous back then. Like, only kings. And then you got this, like, like
this ruffian.
Yeah, the people who are famous were like fat, ugly kings who like couldn't marry outside their bloodline. And
I mean, if you're fat, then you're rich.
True, but like then you got like these guys who are like, oh yeah, I have like 14 guns on my waistband, and I like have 2 swords, and I have my own ship, and like of course, and I'm single. What's up?
And everybody's terrified of me.
Exactly.
Yeah. So this myth stems from the fact that when at a port, Blackbeard would find a woman that he had a fancy for, and he would take her back to the boat to be married by his first mate. But these ceremonies were not exactly legal, and many believe that this was more of an ongoing joke between Blackbeard and his crew.
He's like, look at that shit thing.
I married another one, man.
Look, the bitch thinks she's in love.
I mean, he was a pirate.
Yeah, I mean, like, but what, did they all just stay on the ship, or like, did they?
I don't know. I couldn't figure out what happened to him. Did he kill him? Did he toss him over the boat? Who fucking knows?
They probably went back on land. They probably got they probably pulled into port. They got
fetch me a chicken, and they're gone.
They probably got some splinters, if you know what I mean, on that wood deck, and then she probably was like, "I'm Blackbeard's wife," and then she bumps into another chick from Louisiana who's like, "I'm Blackbeard's wife," and then they just have it out, and he's just like, this is fun.
And they start an army and they kill. Oh my god, that's a good movie idea.
That is. It's like Ocean's 8 with all the ladies, but it'll just be like Blackbeard's ladies, and gonna go kill Blackbeard.
Yeah. So it is documented that in 1718, it's always weird reading old dates like that because it feels so bad coming out of your mouth.
1718.
Because it's like,
doesn't flow
it feels,
off the tongue.
Well, it just feels weird because, we've only lived through the, 1990s to the 2000s.
Every time I think about like how old, like back then, I just think about how dirty everything was. How
covered in shit, man.
Oh my god, honestly, everyone had dirty buttholes all the time.
All the time.
All the time.
That's why he lived near the ocean. Let the salt water eat away at it.
I feel bad for the guy that lived in Wyoming.
So, so there was documentation that in 1718, Blackbeard legally married a young woman from North Carolina named Mary Orman.
So this one was legal?
Yes.
Okay.
And the wedding was actually officiated by the governor of North Carolina at the time, Charles Eden.
Was this before he was Blackbeard?
So at one point he had a pardon.
Oh,
he had
from
crime and stuff, and like he was like a free man basically.
Do pardons last forever?
Well, he went back to being a pirate, so it kind of broke it.
Oh, so like he was like, "You're good," and he's like, "Fuck it."
Yeah, he got bored.
Okay.
So, with that said, there is no known history of what happened to Mary Orman after the wedding. He just kind of disappeared.
Oh no! I hope she's okay.
She's probably dead.
I hope she's not a skeleton.
So the next myth is a biggie. And what do you think of when you think of pirates? What's the first thing that comes to your mind?
Eye patch, parrot, peg leg, gold. Gold.
What about gold?
Treasure chest. They have buried treasure everywhere.
Blackbeard's buried treasure.
Yeah.
So it's a massive part of pirate lore that they would bury and hide their treasure because they would collect so much of it, it was dangerous to travel with all of it on the boat in case of disaster.
It's true.
And I'm sure it weighs the boat down a little bit. It's got to be heavy as fuck.
Mm-hmm.
And, but in actual fact, there was only one pirate who was ever known to literally bury his golden treasure. And that was Captain Kidd. And Captain Kidd...
I've heard of Captain Kidd.
Yeah? You sure?
I know nothing about him, but like the name, I thought he was a cowboy, honestly.
Well, there is a cowboy named... what's his name? Kid
Carson. Kit Carson.
Something the Kid. I don't know. Who
Oh,
gives a
Billy
shit?
the Kid.
Billy the Kid, yeah. Whatever. Who gives a
Who's
shit?
Kit Carson?
Don't worry about it.
Billy the Kid Carson.
Yeah. So Kid used this as a failsafe if he would ever get captured, and he would be able to use it as a bargaining chip and say, "Hey, let me free. I'll show you. I'll tell you where my gold's buried." And it didn't work, and he was hanged. God damn it!
Wow.
I have it. I even have it. No, I even wrote it this time.
I'm clapping for you.
I wrote it, and I was like, I'm not gonna fuck it up this time, and I fucked it up.
No, that was good.
But so he was just like, "Oh, it's here. Let me go." And they're like, "Okay." And they just went and dug it up and fucking killed him.
No way, was it actually there?
Yeah.
Oh, he's a fucking asshole. Okay. Oh my god. Okay, so they just hanged him anyway?
Yeah.
This was Billy the Kid?
Yeah, Billy the Kid the pirate. Captain Billy the Kid the pirate.
Wait, damn. So Kid, Captain Kidd. Oh my god.
And that's the only actual like literal proof and story of real buried treasure from a pirate.
See, there should have been something. You know what the chest should have been full of?
Dildos.
Elementals.
Yeah.
That would have killed them for sure.
Yeah.
Hey, go open up elementals.
A little twofer.
Bunch of farts in a box.
Yeah.
Damn.
From the Kid himself.
That's interesting that like that is a very big lore with like buried treasure, because that never made sense to me, because when we played that game Sea of Thieves, they'd be like, oh, you want to go bury your treasure and stuff, and like you go remember where it is, and like I remember they said that something along the lines of like your crew would never take a share of it, like everybody would agree that they would bury it together.
Yeah.
But then like a lot of those guys just died anyway, and you're like, I mean, you're not gonna see the fucking treasure. It's like, give me my piece of the treasure. I want to go like retire. You know, why do I want to bury it beneath the ground? Because
you can't let them leave because you can't keep pirating.
Yeah, because a lot of the guys are like, there's a theory of like buried treasure today, because a lot of them just like died out at sea, and you're like, what's the track record for pirates? Oh yeah, they die. You might as well.
They died quick.
Yeah, like go get the treasure one time or two times and then retire, because you're not going to have longevity in this profession.
Yeah. So the next myth is a female crew member of Blackbeard's crew, and that's false.
No females.
No. And this myth comes from a 2006 docudrama, Blackbeard Terror at Sea, done by Nat Geo. And I think it's pretty safe to say that being a woman hiding in plain sight on a notorious pirate ship would not be a good idea, and is just kind of a ridiculous idea.
Little known fact, though, or maybe it's a well-known fact, one of the most famous Chinese pirates was a woman.
Mulan?
Not Mulan.
Oh,
she was not a pirate. No, I don't remember her name off the top of my head, but she was one of the most well-known and respected. I mean, because the Chinese pirate ships were fucking gigantic too.
Yeah, but I mean that's different if you're like a leader, yeah, sure, but like if you're just like a fucking crew member, like, yeah, I wouldn't sign up for that.
Yeah.
So, aside from myths, what are some of the big moments of Blackbeard's career?
Careers. How many?
Careers.
Yeah, careers.
He was a great seamstress. Made the flag.
He made the flag. I was about to say, shit, boy.
So in May 1718, Blackbeard had given himself the rank of Commodore.
Oh, Lionel Richie.
Yeah. And this would become the peak of his power. Later that month, his fleet had made a blockade outside of a port of Charlestown in the province of South Carolina.
Is that Charleston?
It might be now. It used to be Charlestown. It might be Charleston.
Maybe it's a different place. I don't know.
Huh. Is Charleston on the water?
I don't know anything.
I don't know anything about North or South Carolina.
Don't ask me nothing.
Or West Carolina? Nothing about it. East Carolina? Don't get me started.
You read the stars.
Yeah. So all ships entering or leaving the port were stopped, being that the port had no guard ships. So they just like sat outside and was just pulling everybody over and being like, "Oh, what do you got?" Like, and they just like took over all these boats for 6 days.
That's actually super fucking smart.
Yeah. And so they robbed them and took them all as prisoners. Blackbeard spread the word that his crews needed medical supplies, and if the government of South Carolina wouldn't supply them, they would execute all the prisoners, and their heads would be sent to the governor, and all their boats would be burned.
Governor.
Yeah, governor.
Oh, okay. So, like, what's a medical supply back then? Just like,
I don't know.
you got any bandages?
Some limes?
Yeah, it's like bandages and rum. Like,
Yeah.
I don't know, like...
They probably asked for
And
more
a
stuff, like some
hacksaw?
clothes. I don't know, but they just said medical supplies.
Yeah.
So this was the most confusing fucking story I've ever read, which made me just laugh because I had no idea what was happening on. So long story short, the 2 pirates that were sent to retrieve the supplies after the governor agreed went missing. Eventually, they were found, and the 2 pirates were passed out drunk with some old friends at a bar.
Hell yeah.
And then the requests were met, and Blackbeard and his men got their medical supplies, and all the prisoners were released unharmed.
Is there anything more pirate than that?
Oh, I
where
know.
They're like, John, Connor, why don't you guys go out and get the medical
John
supply?
Connor? Are you talking about fucking Terminator?
I
now?
didn't mean to do that. I'm sorry. John Connor, go shut down Skynet. And they're
I
like,
just saw Arnold. I was walking next to Arnold the other day.
really?
He's a lot shorter than I thought he was.
Oh yeah, well you saw Arnold. Well, I saw the dad from Even Stevens on Wilshire.
I don't even know what he looks like.
I did.
You sure as shit did.
But anyway, they sent these 2 guys to be like, you guys have a very important task. There are 20 men's lives at stake right now for you guys to go get medical supplies, and they just went and got fucked up and passed out.
Classic pirate shit.
That's really cool, actually.
Yeah. So
That's so negligent and uncool, but like it's cool.
if it was any other career but pirate, this would not be okay.
Like doctor, like you go get my lab results. He's just like doing meth in the fucking stairwell
With the janitor.
They're just like putting plungers on their nipples and.
Fuck are you talking about? You're trying to make the story hornier than it is. God damn.
Sorry, I'm sorry. Okay, continue.
So there are endless stories of Blackbeard's piracy, and there's no telling what is true and what's hogwash.
Wow, hogwash.
I like that word a lot. Because he was only a pirate for like 2 years.
Shut the fuck up.
Yeah, and so like there's so many stories that it's kind of hard to believe that it all happened in 2 years.
Interesting.
Yeah,
Even there in the pardon was like 2 years.
it's like probably like a week, and he was like, "Fuck this."
Oh, really?
I don't know. I didn't find any dates on it.
Okay, so
Back fucking pirates didn't keep the best journals.
No,
It was all in fucking.
they pissed in their boots.
Yeah, it was just a bunch of gibberish about mazes of. Underneath the beaver tree, you'll find me gold.
Wow. Okay.
So there's still a major chapter of our story that has not been told, and that is the end of Captain Blackbeard.
Oh no, I don't like this part. I'm
Yeah.
sad.
It's good though. So remember when I talked about Alexander Spotswood earlier?
Yes.
He was the guy who made the small army to hunt the pirate legend. Well, he eventually heard of a few of Blackbeard's old crewmates, like their locations, and so he sent a lieutenant named Robert Maynard to go, ask some questions, bust some heads,
Crack some skulls.
Yeah. So Maynard took control of 2 armed sloops, little boats, on November 17th, which held between the 2, which is pretty impressive, 57 men between the 2 boats.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. And Maynard and his men searched high and low looking for any information for Blackbeard's location. And they finally got a solid lead. And the evening of November 21st, Maynard found the pirates anchored on the inner side of Ocracoke Island.
That's Caribbean?
I didn't say. I didn't even look that up.
Ocracoke.
Being real professional today.
Way down in Ocracoke.
So Maynard and his men followed Blackbeard until they could trap them in a corner. You know, they weighed from the like dock, and they kind of sat back for a little bit trying to plan everything out. And they realized that this was a good spot to block them in on the channel so they couldn't escape. Blackbeard, to his mistake, did not have any lookouts out that night because he was busy entertaining guests, which I feel like is a weird thing to write if you're not going to name these guests.
Oh, I think
But-
there's just like the locals of Roka Noka
Yeah,
Noka.
it's possible. So unknowingly trapped on the island, Blackbeard only had about 24 men with him, and which was a bad fight scene for him.
That's
being,
a shit crew.
Yeah, being that Maynard and his men had more than double his numbers.
I was gonna say double and completely sober, and then 24 of his guys were just like
and 2 boats.
like 8 guys were passed out, pissed drunk.
Yeah.
The other guys were just like half drunk and
Yeah.
swinging their tallywhackers.
Yeah,
Tallies.
those work. So at daybreak, Maynard's 2 sloops entered the channel and were quickly noticed by the pirates, and Maynard opened fire as quickly as possible. A lot of these, a lot of this story is like very iffy. It's hard to get an exact.
Because we're probably getting one side of the story. Because
Yeah.
I'm guessing everyone's dead on the other side.
Yeah. So the pirates rushed their boat to raise the anchor and lower the sails, and they started aiming all their cannons, getting ready to shoot the 2 sloops. Just waiting for the perfect time. Not long after, Blackbeard's ship named the Adventure fired her cannons, devastating one of Maynard's boats, killing or injuring 20 of his men, losing
wow.
a third of his men.
Oh, shit. Oh,
Yeah.
wow. He didn't. Okay. I thought it was just going to be like a complete ambush. I thought he was going to get nothing off on him.
Yeah. So what happened next is not for certain, but it's believed that the fight quickly turned to small arms and blades after the Adventurer lost control and crashed into a sandbar.
Oh.
So they think maybe a cannon hit the mast or something and they couldn't control the boat.
Yeah.
So Maynard ordered his men to go below the deck to protect themselves better from being boarded. As the boat started to approach the Adventure, Blackbeard ordered his men to fire the grappling hook onto the boat to pull them closer, and quickly threw their homemade grenades onto the boat.
Oh, wow.
After waiting for the smoke to clear, Blackbeard led his men aboard, who were confused at first because there were only like a few people on the boat, which they just like fucked up completely,
Because everybody else was down below.
and they didn't have any idea. And so they were like, where is everybody? And once things seemed to be kind of dead and died out, Maynard and his men came bursting from the hold, screaming and shooting their guns. The plan, to their surprise, actually fucking worked really well. And Blackbeard and Maynard had a little standoff and both fired their flintlock pistols at each other. Throwing their guns to the side, Blackbeard drew his cutlass, big old pirate sword, and managed to break Maynard's sword in half out of pure power and skill.
Holy shit. How tall was Maynard?
No,
Probably not as tall as 6'2".
6'4". But yeah. So they continue to fight without killing each other quite yet. And before the pirates knew it, they were surrounded on the boat. Maynard drew back and to fire another flintlock round, and Blackbeard took the opportunity to attack, but his throat was slit by a crew member of Maynard's men. Then, after he went down, several more men jumped in to make sure that he was dead.
No.
On examining Blackbeard's body, it was discovered that Blackbeard had been shot 5 times and stabbed over 20 times before he eventually died.
Oh, fuck. Okay, fuck that crew member. Seriously, fuck that guy.
A little cheap shot.
Because I feel like
No honor for a
Blackbeard,
pirate.
Exactly. I feel like Blackbeard was very honorable. Where it's like, hey, like we're having a standoff right now. It's kind of like one of those battle scenes in a movie where you see the 2 guys going at it, and you go, I can't believe nobody's stabbing like the main character in the back right now.
Exactly.
It's kind of like, I don't know. I feel like if you're fighting somebody one-on-one, you don't fucking go and stab somebody in the back. You just find somebody else to fight one-on-one.
He's got to play dirty at the pirates.
Damn, dude, he got his throat slit.
Yep.
But he got, I mean, he was going down anyway, but seriously, like, he could have 5 shots and 20 stab wounds. Good God.
Yeah, and so after he went down, I'm pretty sure his men surrendered, and I don't think they were killed. I mean, I'm sure some of them were killed, but so not all the pirates died.
Oh, okay.
So after the fight, Maynard cut off the head of Blackbeard and hung it from the front of the boat.
Don't do him dirty like that.
Yeah, he needed to take the head back to return the bounty.
Yeah. He's the world's first anti-hero. Like, he's a bad guy, but, like, he steals, but, like, we love him.
Yeah, we love him. And not knowing to do with the body, since, they got this headless corpse, the men threw the headless body into the ocean, where men allegedly witnessed his headless body swim around the boat 3 or 7, it's between the two, 3 times before sinking into the dark blue ocean.
He swam with his arms?
Yeah, no head. And that's when people are like, fuck, he was the devil.
Oh.
So there are plenty of stories to tell Blackbeard, but like times before that I've said, sometimes we don't have enough time to get through and cover all of the topics. But if you're interested, I'd advise on setting sail and exploring more of the life of Edward Blackbeard Teach.
Wow. I didn't know his first name was Edward.
I said that in the beginning.
No, I just meant like... I
couldn't hear it over the waves.
Yeah, honestly, you're like, hey, his name's Edward. Yeah, but no, I mean, it's pretty interesting. Like I said, I always pictured Blackbeard as some, like you said, almost like not like a devil in a bad way, but like a mythical figure. Like he was
death and torment.
He was not of any race or ethnicity. He was a pirate, and it's weird to hear his name being Edward. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I've always thought Blackbeard, and never knew his real name. So
yeah,
wow, that's pretty interesting. Like,
it's worried about the backstories of like legendary historical people like that.
Yeah,
yeah,
especially ones with like such lore behind them. 2 years out at sea, and I don't want to say he accomplished all that, because I don't know if that's an accomplishment to just steal people's shit and hold people hostage, but...
It's like 400 years from now, some kid's going to be like, there were 2 George Bushes? How'd they keep them straight?
I don't know. Oh, my God. But yeah, so I guess that's the end of our tall tales and our
big famous names.
And our peanut butter snakes and our...
Gotta watch out for them peanut butter snakes.
Wow, and our scurvies and our everything else in between,
Yep.
So, yeah, wow.
You ever shave with a cutlass?
What's a cutlass?
The pirate swords.
Oh, so that was a car.
I'm sorry, what?
A cutlass is a car.
Is it? Well, it's probably named after,
It might be named after the sword.
Probably.
I thought it was called like a rapier. Oh, that's like a fencing sword.
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah. But I think French pirates use like 3 musketeers.
Yeah.
Shitty candy bar.
Fuck you, 3 musketeers.
Today we are not sponsored by fucking 3 musketeers. So that's the end of our episode today. Thank you guys for listening. We really appreciate it. You learned a little historical thing. Unknowingly, like we said, David and I do not pick these stories knowing what the other one picked.
Yeah, we have no idea what we're doing.
So we both just happen to pick kind of historical, big name people.
Yeet.
I'd love to see them fight. I bet Clubfoot King Tut would get cut down in 2 seconds.
Was King Tut much of a combatant?
He was 16.
No.
With a club foot and a fucked up.
That's the angriest.
He had like hydrosyphilitis in his head, and he looked bad. He looked like shit. But that's what incest gets you, and see what 8 wives get you. Get you a cool story, and people still
14.
14 wives. Okay. So thank you guys. We love when you listen. We love telling you these stories. If you could, we'd really appreciate if you could go rate, review, subscribe to our channel. It would really help us, and that's all we ask for in return for
please
giving you some entertainment for your rides and in your sleeps and wherever you do and listening to this thing. So thank you guys. We also got social media, so check us out on Instagram, Twitter, Facebook, all that shiznat. We're gonna put pictures up on Instagram. That's our most active one, so go check that out. Go subscribe, go follow us, and we got some stuff on there. We also got shirts and we got mugs. If you guys are interested, the shirts are very, very soft, and the mugs are very, very hard,
very breakable. So buy a lot of them.
They hold coffee. the whole hot coffee.
You can eat soup out of it.
If you want soup, bring soup. Nobody will know except for when you have an orange mustache.
And
They're
a
like,
spoon.
Are you drinking soup out of that? And then they're like, don't judge me. So go do all that stuff.
Yep.
And I think we got some other stuff, though, too, right?
God damn it. I never come prepared for this.
Me neither. I'm
We
like,
got screwdrivers.
you're going to start naming hardware tools again.
My mind's on the tools.
We got a shoe filled with soup.
We got flapjacks.
We got thick jacks.
We got Burger King gift cards.
Wow. No one's bought those in years.
Hey, the Angry Whopper's back.
I don't even know what the Angry Whopper is.
Oh, it's so good.
We got the state of Kentucky for you.
We've got baby seals.
We got full-grown seals.
We've got corn.
We got the band corn.
That's what I was referring to.
Oh,
You know that we don't have any maize.
backwards K corn?
Yes.
Okay.
Backwards R capital.
Shit. Okay, we got a guy you kind of know from high school, but he kind of got fat.
Sitting at the bar.
Yeah.
We got your old high school teammate who still wears his Letterman's jacket 8 years later at the bar.
We got your old high school teammate who also bought a ring. Oh, he still wears it.
We've got elementary school teachers.
We got one of those hats that rice farmers wear.
Is that just a rice farming hat?
It's like a Raiden from
Yeah.
from Mortal Kombat hat.
We got bobbleheads.
We got a cutlass car.
Got those tiny little forks that you use when you're eating like shellfish. Oh. Yeah. What are those? Yeah, what are those? Let me see. Let me see that.
That's a tiny fork.
What is that? Let me see that.
Hey, we got a tiny spoon too, because you gotta have one without the other. You know what I'm saying?
I felt like I turned into Sylvester Stallone for a second
You
there.
did. We got Sylvester Stallone. Okay, thanks guys. We really appreciate you guys listening. We'll end it there. Don't forget to. I'm not gonna say the end thing. I'm gonna say don't forget to spay and neuter your pets,
Love yourself.
and also don't forget to stay strange.